I made the best tool to anything related to monitors for sim racing. Let me show you. First step, head over to dansuzuki.com. If you have seen the earlier video that I made, there might be some overlap, so I will put timestamps so you don't have to watch the same thing twice. But there's a new website, you can check it out. It's still in beta, I still have to work on it, but it's turning out pretty nice. This is, by the way, an IPM monitor like the SimCube 3 Ultimate. But go to Tools, go to FOV Calculator. You have seen the old one maybe if you saw the old video. It still works fine and exactly the same as before. What you can do here is like set your distance to screen, set your monitor size and everything, aspect ratio and everything. But I want to show you the new cool thing, which is 3D mode. And here you can actually see the scene exactly as it is seen on your monitors. Whether you have triples, whether you have an ultra-wide, whether you have a 21:9 or 16:9 single screen. You can update the settings here and the video will render your exact situation. So you can, for example, check if you want to get higher FOV closer to the monitors, reduce the slider, let it update, and you will see how the FOV actually adjusts the image shown on the screens. Same thing happens, let's make this smaller here, when you, for example, change the angle. If you want to know how does the angle actually affect my FOV and what I can see. I think it's a super nice tool to be able to really tell what you're adjusting and how it affects your FOV in the sim. So let me go through a typical setup, something that I use, for example. I sit at 80 centimeters and my screen size is 41.5. So this is what I'm getting. I'm using not the perfect angle. The perfect angle here would be 60 degrees. I use a slightly different angle of 58 degrees. So we are close to an horizontal FOV of 180 degrees here. Bezel width you can either put into the positive direction or into the negative as well. If you have a bezel-free kit, sometimes you need a negative bezel correction for that. It won't affect the actual FOV because that's unaffected. It will only change the data that you can generate from this. But I'll show you that in a second. So, okay, my screens are not curved, so this is on no, and this is exactly my view with my 42-inch triples seen from 80 centimeters. You can now also auto-configure your sim. Let's say you want to do iRacing and you want to also set up the resolution without surround. If you can use surround, I always recommend to just use surround. I think it's just easier, but some people can't. And what you now do is put your app ini and render a DX11 monitor ini in here. I'm on a Mac right now, so I don't have iRacing installed. Let me grab these from my PC here. And then you can either show your current settings from the ini files. I don't want to do that because I obviously set it up exactly how I want it. And now I just click Generate Files, and that will download a zip folder that contains the new app ini, the new render DX11 ini, and a backup of your old files. Just drop the non-backup version into your iRacing folder, into the documents, and everything is set up for you. This obviously works for any monitor configuration. You can do like 32-inch, 49-inch triples, because why not? Does it make sense? No. Can you configure it with this? Of course. But I want to show you a new feature that is pretty cool, and that is the compare mode. Let's say you're thinking, should I go 32-inch triples or should I go with an ultra-wide? This is very easy to visualize now. So let's say you're sitting at 65 centimeters, 32-inch triples, which often are 31.5 inch, by the way. Let's say triples, you don't use a bezel-free kit, so 5mm bezel probably. You're using the perfect monitor angle and you want a curved screen for your triples of 1200. And now you go on compare. So now this is the setup we just configured, and this is the setup we can edit. So now you can go to same viewing distance. You want a 49-inch, 32:9 single screen setup with a curve of, I don't know what these have, let's say 1000. And then you can compare exactly what you're seeing. Like if you go to the driver view, you can also sync the view, then both canvases or orbits will do the same thing. And you can really see, for example, here, this is how much you see from the car. This is how much more you see when you're using triples. And you can do comparisons of up to 4 just if you want to set it up, but this is a very, very nice tool to visualize how FOV really looks on flat screens versus curved. Like, I mean, we can do the same for flat versus curved here once. So this would be a 49-inch 1000R curved, and compare this to a flat 49-inch. And you can see the FOV actually is not the same. You can still see more of the mirror here with the curve. That's an effective FOV of 100-ish, whereas without the curves, you're sitting at 85. If you don't like the view with the video, you can also set it to image, where it just shows a still image. Same for this. Or let's go back to triples. Play around with the tool and let me know what you think of it. If there's anything that's missing. By the way, if you go to extreme FOVs, like 270 here, which is probably a bit extreme, it will not show the full picture. But if you would want to, you can just render a picture from iRacing, for example, with this FOV, and then put it here in capture source. Use your own capture. I need to work on the layout of this, by the way. It's still like in beta. But I wanted to make a video show you this tool because I think it's really, really cool. Of course, you can still like use the 2D mode. But yeah, that's the new feature here. And another thing I wanted to show you is the button tester. You can now use the website, dansuzuki.com, go to button tester in the tool section. Then you can connect a steering wheel of your choice. I mean, if you open this website on your rig PC, it will probably be already populated with some stuff. On the MacBook here, it will not show anything per default. On a Windows PC, it will show your first 4 joysticks. If you want to see them all, and if you want to see all the buttons, you need to click Unlock All Buttons and Devices. Then you get a prompt where it's asking you which device you want to connect. Like, for example, here, the interlock. And then you have a full button tester. You have like 65 reported buttons. It shows you unnecessary stats like the polling rate, how it connects to the browser. Also, by the way, this is all running locally on your PC. Also the FOV calculator. There's nothing like sent to a database or anything. It's all on your computer. And now you can use this for a button tester, test everything. It also shows you the axis. I don't have these configured here. They're configured as buttons, so I can't show you. But you can have one line per axis, or you can have all in one. Then it will combine it. Think of it like a pedal input telemetry. It will show the funky switches. I mean, rotation will be on top here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I was always annoyed that online button testers only show 32 buttons, so I just made my own. And I'm also always annoyed to install a tool to test buttons. So I just decided, hey, we'll just make our own button tester. So here it is. If you ever need to test buttons or if you have use for that, check it out. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to show you. And I now go and play some Tetris on my interlock wheel.